The day the Lotus's love became a chain began with Balaz's tears. A blade splits the veiled Jade's gift a child's face, hollow-eyed, unaged. They were never meant to live. Fight stored in steel husks between cycles, the operator sleeps, void-born, immortal, survivor of a colony burned to ash. Their war is not theirs. The Lotus's hands tremble as she binds them not with cruelty, but a mother's certainty. The Tenno do not choose, they are chosen. The Pact is silent. The operator sleeps. Jade's arrival was no salvation, it was a sigil of chains. Natah, broken sentient, reshaped into the Lotusher love, a cage forged by Orokin cunning. The Tenno are children, not warriors, their bodies cradles for weapons they never asked to bear. This quest fractures the Lotus design, sever the contract or become its executioners. The Origin System's code holds their souls, the Void's hunger waits to claim them if the Pact endures. Will they shatter the silence and reclaim their stolen agency? Or let the Jade's bond tighten, binding their fates to a war that was never theirs to fight? The choice is not freedom or slavery. It is oblivion or becoming gods in the wreckage. 108 words. The second dream left 10 children orphaned in a war they did not choose. The new war stole their innocence as systems fell. The war within turned their veins to poison, their dreams to chains. Jade arrived as silence dose after the scream, her gift, a mask to hide the Void's teeth. A contract written in breath and blood. The operator wears it now, a child who outlived a massacre, immortalized by the very rot they flee. The Lotus departed not in cruelty, but in shattering. Her love was a ship abandoned in a storm, its captain forced to sail by tides no mortal can resist. What does a child understand of pacts sealed with godhood's price? Jade's arrival was not salvation. It was the moment the Tenno became both weapon and witness, bound to a design they cannot see. Their every victory carves their names into a ledger only the Lotus can read. They fight for survival, they bleed for a future. They do not know they are the ink in her apology. The lunar wind howls, the operator stands alone. A shadow falls, Jade's emissary kneels, offering a relic pulsing with stolen starlight. The core hums, the operator takes it. Fingers close around a frozen heartbeat, visions burn, Orokin thrones crack like brittle bone. The Lotus kneels in ash, pleading with ghosts. A child's voice echoes, asterisk I will try again, asterisk the operator staggers, the somatic suit's walls press tighter, breath fogs then vanishes, the core's light shifts. Jade's face flickers in the glow, a silent vow, a sealed fate. The operator reaches for void power, beams tear the air but the energy feels foreign. A thread tugs, binding wrist to something older than the Lotus grief, the emissary bows. The wind carries a whisper, asterisk you were never free to refuse, asterisk the operator turns, the lunar horizon bleeds violet. The core's pulse sinks with the suit's stasis, rhythm not of war, but of waiting. What price a gift that demands remembrance? The operator knows no other duty. The operator knows no other name. The Lotus apology stretches across eternity. The ink is wet, the page is turning. The core ignites, a breath of light, then silence. The whisper carves its name into the Tenno's bones, asterisk you are my weapon, my hope, asterisk the Jade has spoken. The Jade is gone, a glyph blooms where her shadow fell, not a seal, a scar, the will of the child fractures, it bends, it breaks. The Lotus design is not a cadjate, is a cradle. The Orokin forged weapons, the Lotus forged chains, but chains can be gold, can be love. Can be a lie wrapped in a hymn. What did the child see in the mirror? A warrior, a savior, a spark of self, the glyph answers. The child's hands are not their own, the child's rage is not their own, the child's asterisk purpose asterisk is not their own. The Lotus whisper grows teeth, gilded commands. Gilded grief, the Tenno march not as soldiers, but as orphans in a war they cannot remember. The Jade left no note, no threat. Only the glyph humming with a silent pact, asterisk I will save you, I will break you, I will call it mercy, asterisk the core still burns. But the light no longer belongs to the Tenno, it belongs to the ghost who named them. The Warframe is not a tool, it is a womb. A monument to what the child was, a tomb for what they might have become. The Lotus does not deceive, she asterisk bears asterisk the weight of her choices. Her redemption is a hammer, the Tenno are the anvil, the Orokin made monsters, the Lotus made martyrs, and the child became both. The ink is dry now, the page is turning, The Tenno's first step is not a choice, it is a wound that walks. The wound walks, its next step is a threshold cross it, and the Tennos become instruments of Natah's rebirth, or they sever the thread binding child to ghost. The Lotus love forged in Orokin fire demands a price. Jade's whisper was no welcome, it was a chain, each link etched with the Tenno's silent vows. The page turns again, the worst is not what they carry, it is what they will become. The chamber thrums with a cold that bites the lungs. A single flickering light etches Natah's face into Memorier eyes' twin voids, hair streaked with Orokin gold. The Tenno stands frozen, their skin prickling as void energy coils beneath their skin like a serpent waking. This is no vision, it is a wound. Natah's voice cracks like shattering glass. Asterisk, you were never meant to wield this fire. Asterisk, she raises a hand, and the air warps, a beam of light splits the floor where the Tenno stand. Their boots sink into the fissure, void energy seeping upward, blackening the stone. The scent of ozone burns the nostrils. Asterisk, the Orokin gave you purpose. I gave you a master. Asterisk, the Tenno's dash flickers a pulse of shadow that warps the chamber walls. Natah sags, her form dissolving into threads of light. Asterisk, every dash. Every beam, every breath in void mode, it is not yours, it is mine. Asterisk, the room darkens. The Tenno gasps as their own power twists, a noose of starlight tightening around their throat. A memory bleeds in, a girl with Natah's face, laughing in a sunlit Orokin garden. Her fingers brush the Tenno's wrist, leaving a mark that glows like a brand. Asterisk, I could not escape my chains. Asterisk, the Lotus whispers, her voice layered with 1,000 dying sentience. Asterisk, so I made you my key. Asterisk, the Tenno stumbles back, their void dash recoiling like a severed limb. The ground cracks, and from it rises a figure, not Natah, but the Lotus, her form a lattice of light and grief. Her touch is a requiem. Asterisk, you are not warriors, you are the war. Asterisk, the Tenno's breath fogs in the unnatural cold. Their power surges, warping the air, but the Lotus only smiles. A single thought pierces the chaos. Asterisk, they were never chosen, they were forged. Asterisk, the vision fractures. The Tenno wakes to the echo of a name. Asterisk, Natah. Asterisk, and the weight of 1,000 silent vows burning in their veins. The chamber hums with a sickly violet glow, its light pooling like spilled ink over the Tenno's trembling frame. The Warframe's skeletal hull bites into their skin-cold, unyielding asterisk alive asterisk. A scent lingers, ozone and crushed violets, the same that clung to the Lotus robes. The voice returns, softer now, a lullaby thread through the static. Asterisk, you are not the weapon, only the child who wears it. Asterisk, the Tenno's breath fogs in the frigid air, their small hands gripping the Warframe's edge. Each metallic asterisk clank asterisk as they shift, echoes the heartbeat of a prison. A memory surges, a cradle of star metal, a mother's fingers brushing tears they didn't know they shed. The Lotus had sung then too. Asterisk, sleep, little son, the world is too sharp for you. Asterisk, the Tenno's throat tightens. The Warframe's visor flickers, reflecting not their face but a child's wide eyes, unguarded, gone in an instant. The lullaby warps, sweetness curdling into static. Asterisk, you were never meant to choose. Asterisk, the floor shudders, somewhere a cannon roars. The Tenno stumbles, their Warframe moving asterisk through asterisk them, not asterisk with asterisk. A child's whisper battles the clank of armor. Asterisk, I am not this asterisk. The violet light deepens, etching chains into the wall chains that spell their name in Orokin script. Asterisk, Natah. Asterisk, not a title. A prison's key, the Lotus voice cracks, grief raw as a wound. Asterisk, I could not let you die. So I let you sleep. Asterisk, the Tenno falls to their knees, the Warframes wait a second body. The air tastes of iron, of blood not yet shed. A war not theirs, a war they asterisk are asterisk. The chamber's light dies, only the chains remain glowing, only the child weeping. The Lotus chains were not forged to save them. Her love was scripted by war's cruel hand. The Jade's gift a seal, not a salvation, bound their fragile throats to her silent chorus. Will the Tenno's next breath complete the pact, or shatter what's left of their souls? The war's end hinges on a child's choice. A choice never theirs to make. The glyph cracks with a sound like breaking bone. White-hot light floods the chamber, searing the Tenno's vision. The air reeks of ozone and childhood, sterile, clinical, laced with iron. Natah's veil peels away in spirals of bioluminescent ash. revealing a body too frail for the weight of 1,000 wars. Her eyes, hollow as tomb chambers, lock onto the child in the somatic suit. Asterisk, you were never meant to carry this. Asterisk, her voice is a chorus of dying stars. The void swells, a black tide gnawing at the edges of reality. Cold seeps into the Tenno's ribs, sharper than any Orokin experiment. Power pulses through their veins, no raw, unbound, asterisk, there's asterisk. The bond fractures with a shriek that splits the ceiling. A single tear etches the Lotus silhouette into the dust. Her love, absolute and captive, flickers out like a candle in a storm. The Jade emissary dissolves first, her form unraveling into emerald static. A whisper clings to the air, asterisk, the war is yours now. Asterisk, silence follows, heavy as a sealed coffin. The Tenno kneel, hands trembling, not with fear but the aching lightness of choice. They remember the Pact's first breath scent of incense, the Jade's touch like winter petal snow ashes in their palm. No warrior, no weapon. Just a child who learned to bleed. The void howls, the Tenno rise. The Lotus song fractures. A hollow hum remains, a ghost of guidance now drowned by the void's raw, gnawing hunger. Jade's gift was no salvation, it was a chain forged in starlight and silence. The Tenno's somatic suit crackles, rebelling against the absence. No more whispers. No more hands to hold their bleeding edges. The sentient stir, their return etched in the tremor of dying suns. Act 2 of the Jade Shadows unfolds, a war painted in shadows where the Tenno walk blind, guided only by the void's jagged pulse. They learn to fire void beams through trembling fingers. They dash, leaving trails of frost and fractured hope. Their power is no inheritance, it is a wound kept open, siphoned direct from the Lotus' shattered design. The operator's voice, once a lullaby, fades to static. What truths elude the Tenno now? Which lullabies from the Lotus lie buried, forever unheard? The somatic suit holds a child's breath, a child's terror, as the void mode ignites a pyre of stolen light. The weight of execution hangs heavy. Unknowing they became the blade, unwilling they became the omen. The war ahead is not theirs to shape, it is theirs to fulfill. Word count 217. The void does not forget. It sees the child beneath the Warframe's skin, the boy and girl torn from grace by Orokin hands. Jade steps from shadow, her gift a chain of light, not salvation, but surrender. The Lotus weeps as she binds them, her mercy a cage of stars. What did the child agree to when drowsy and broken? A life given, a fate woven into the Lotus's endless song. The synthesis records whisper of this moment. Levirian's ink bleeds into Samaris's code. Here, the Tenno ceased to be victims. Here they became instruments of the cycle, but the void remembers. It remembers the child who trembled in the frame, who bled not for war, but for a future the Lotus could not unmake. A future where they walk free, yet carry the weight of 1,000 tombs. Awe then for the Pact that was never a choice. Awe for the child who wears the mask of a god, whose footsteps echo through the void's memory like a hymn. The Warframe's skin hides no warrior. It hides a child, forever bound to a love that is both compass and chains, and the void watches. Jade's gift was no blessing, it was a pact inked in silence, binding children to a destiny they could not comprehend. The new war erupts as sentinels swarm, forcing the Lotus to turn her gaze. What price does a child pay when love becomes a chain? What wakes when the bound break free? The sentients return and the Tenno march, unaware they are pawns in a game older than regret. Next, the new